Hello and welcome to Marco Island Center for the Arts and our Advancing Art program. Advancing Art, underwritten by the Island Country Club Charitable Foundation, is designed to help emerging artists learn more about the world of becoming a working artist. This year, we will be presenting two young emerging artists who are going to share their experiences and their journey as they move forward to become professional artists, although they are working artists already. Our artist with us today is Matt Fazio. Hi, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Now, Matt, I know that you've been here at the Marco Island Center for the Arts exhibiting your work. You've also taught both digital art as well as traditional drawing. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and the work that you do?
Uh, sure. I'm 24 years old. I've been taking art super seriously for the past 6 years, making money off it for the past three. I have a background in entertainment design and environment design for video games and film. I also do work in the music industry doing illustration for different artists in that field. And I mostly just like to make cool ideas and express uh, my creativity in insane, detailed ways.
Um,
Um,
and so, why
yeah,
do you
that's
do
about
the
it.
work that you do?
Um, I have a real huge interest in the future of like how we're gonna make art and how detailed we can make something, how like far we can go with an idea, and I just spend a lot of my time like researching things like that and like trying to improve my process to be the best artist I can be.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you work, what your process is? Because I know that you both work traditionally drawing paper and pencil or pen and pencil, but you also work digitally with computers and other sorts of techniques that I hope that you'll explain to us now. So tell us a little bit about how you do your work and the processes you use.
Sure. So with traditional medium, I usually use pencil or ink. Um, I do a lot of like architecture and environment, and then for my digital process, it always changes. I sometimes scan like my traditional drawings, and then I'll paint over them in Photoshop using its brush system. Or recently, I've been teaching myself to sculpt using virtual reality, and I use different CAD programs to create environments, and I'll paint over that too. Um, and I also have a tablet that I bring around, and I kind of just draw on it if I want to do something a little bit more simple.
Okay.
If that, if that's enough of an explanation, not to be too in detail,
No, no,
to go
that's
really in
actually
depth.
very helpful. I mean, I think the fact that I know you were sharing during one of your classes the ability to put something on and be creating on a screen, basically just using your hands in space with some device hooked up to you. Can you explain that
Yeah.
process to us? What is that?
Sure. That's something called Gravity Sketch. It's I'm using the Oculus Quest, which is Facebook's virtual reality goggles, and basically it's something that allows me to uh, draw in 3D space, kind of like a digital 3D pen. But I can use technology to its advantage to create a brush that looks like anything I want, and I can basically have limitless options to create. like anything, and it's super new in the world, but it's it's um it's super valuable. It's super valuable for creating ideas, and it's I just basically use two controllers to make anything to imagination. It's something that's still new to me, but it's sped up my process about 10 times fast. It's really cool. Yeah.
It is. I've seen you do it, and it sort of leads to sort of limitless, as you said, creativity, because you're sort of creating in the moment in that way. That's it's very, very interesting. Can you tell me what's integral in your artwork? What are there any sort of things that are pervasive themes in the way you work? Is there anything, something in a technique that is very specific, your unique capacity, something unique to your work?
I would say something that's unique to my work is I really take attention to detail with what exists in a certain space. Like I really take the time to look at what's in a certain environment and make sure like I make it feel alive, as if you're really there. And that's the best way I could explain it. Like every little thing that's a part of like where you are matters.
What art do you most identify with?
I would identify it's called environmental concept art, which is basically entertainment in terms of designing interactive environment pieces and things that you can use in digital spaces, especially in video games or something that might be put in a film. And if anything else, just I love landscape painting and stuff like that.
And so, I mean, you've talked a little bit about the work that you enjoy doing most. Obviously, along with being an artist, there are what other sort of jobs besides being an artist have you had? I mean, part of the hard thing when you're starting out as a young artist is you also have to pay bills. So what other things have you done? I know that you've been teaching for us, and that's a great thing if you have the ability to be a teaching artist as well as a working artist. What other things have you been doing along the way?
I've been working out of the restaurants here on Marco Island. I used to do night shift at a gas station. I used to work at some of the grocery stores. I help around people in their houses on occasion when they need it. Various things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about all I could think of.
So what do you think is the hardest part of being a working artist? I mean, obviously, the end goal here is to be making your living, creating the art that's of interest to you, whether it's backgrounds for gaming, whether it's album covers, and the sort of things that I know you have an interest that you are getting paid to do now. What do you find to be the hardest part of being a working artist?
I would say probably information, because there's so much out there, and it's easy to get misled on what is the right way to express an idea, like, or the right way to attack something. I feel like there's a lot of opinions on how to like define your process that can really be harmful, honestly. And that's what's really important on finding people that are honestly like really good at what they do and trying to like make a connection on a personal level. I think that's one of the best things you can do.
Now, how do you promote yourself as an... Oh, I'm sorry. How do you promote yourself as an artist? How are you getting the jobs that you get that you're being paid for as an artist? How do you promote yourself?
A lot of my jobs come through just interaction and online. Like I use different things like different chat apps like Discord or um, Facebook or Instagram to just meet people, and I'll get jobs through that just by talking to people. I don't really have like a card or anything like that, but I'll just like lead people to my website or show them a couple things online, and usually that's enough to just like get something started, and it's pretty awesome that way, because work gets a little bit more personal. You get to know the people you're working with. Also, I use things like LinkedIn and what's the other one? There's another one, Behance, to find jobs as well, which is like a image posting site. Also, for my specific space, there's a website called ArtStation, which is where all the professionals in the film, game, animation, etc. industry go to like post their art and etc. So that's a very useful source.
What would your dream project be?
Right now, to honestly maybe release my own book of my own ideas.
Really?
Because I mean, there's a bunch of like studios I'd love to work with or other people's projects, but I have this crazy list of like ideas that I've started that I'd love to just like maybe have, if like even a few people had one of my books, that would mean a lot to me. And that's the goal for now, to really make that come into fruition.
That is great. Now, can you name 3 artists you'd like to be compared with?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with 3 people that really inspire me. There's a dude named Funilab who creates album artworks for a lot of my favorite musicians. He has a very goofy, like crazy, colorful style. My favorite artist, his name is Ete Gayon. He's a very amazing landscape painter. And a Chinese illustrator I really love named Ji Liulian, who is a crazy graphical environment painter from China that just makes these expansive, massive worlds that I really love.
I want to check these people out. If they're people
That's
you're
who I think I
following,
compare myself.
that is incredible. And
All
what? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I
I'll
was
write them down for you. Is what I was gonna say.
Now, what's the best piece of advice that you've been given as you started working as an artist?
Ooh. I would say that it's mostly like your consistency and your like willingness to like be what's the opposite of motivation? It's disciplined. You're just like consistently disciplined with what you're doing is what matters the most, I would say. I think that's the best thing anybody could tell someone like me who wants to be in the line of work that I do. Just consistency is everything.
And so that would be the advice you would give a young artist who wanted to get into the field that you're now pursuing, that they would need to be disciplined
Absolutely.
and to have consistency of their work, as well as getting out there and finding ways. It's interesting that a lot of the work you do is digital, and a lot of the ways you promote yourself and the ways you're able to seek out jobs and work is also all online. It's almost like you never have to go and meet anybody anymore or have somebody see your work. I mean, we've had the good fortune here at the Art Center to be able to display your digital art in our galleries where people can see it face to face. But a lot of your work doesn't even require you to sit down and have a meeting with somebody. You can do it all online. Is that sort of what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, the world is only going to get quicker in how we do things. So to stay consistent is only going to get more important, you know?
My
And,
last, yes?
yeah. Yeah, go on.
No, my last question for you, I guess, would be what role do you think the artist has in our society today? As I said, you're seeing work that is really changing. You were one of the first artists to come in and teach digital art classes here at the Art Center. You came and found me when you knew we were installing a digital media lab. And
that was pure luck.
It was lucky for us because we certainly have been very grateful to have you teach here, to have you display your work here, and to get to know an artist like you who's working in a way that is perhaps quite different from a lot of our more traditional artists here at the Art Center. But what role do you think the artist plays in society?
The artist, I think, is the basis for everything in society. The very shirt off your back doesn't get created without someone drawing out the idea first. The buildings you walk around and see around you don't get made without someone drawing out the idea first. The everything starts on a piece of paper, if anything, and I think our culture, like as an artist, like it plays into like how we interact with each other. It means more of how we interact with each other than anything. Our emotions are all based in the art we have, I think, and like how we're visualizing our space around us, how we create the space around us, and how we like reflect ourselves off of it. And it's the basis for everything that's going to happen in the future. Yeah, I hope that makes sense.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that that's incredibly perspective. And again, we want to thank you for having joined us here at Marco Island Center for the Arts. I know you're teaching with us right now, so I can only assume you are mentoring the classes of kids that we've put in front of you. What's been the most fun part of teaching these kids?
Big joy.
What do you think is the best thing they've done, and how
honestly,
do you think Go ahead.
Just to see how their mind can change a little bit with a little bit of direction and their creative thinking, just with like one maybe little piece of advice back, and to see their eyes light up and be like, oh, I didn't think of things that way, and maybe how they like can start pushing out a lot more ideas quicker just from a little bit of feedback, and which I think will ultimately help them in their creative journey, to have something like that. On the second note, I think I've also seen some crazy good young artists that have a lot of potential for the future, a lot of potential, and that's something that really is awesome to see.
Well, Matt, I have to say I probably feel that way about you, and I have no doubt that people who see this may be very interested in connecting with you to get a little more advice, some insights into your process. So this, of course, will be on our YouTube page, Marco Island Center for the Arts. I want to thank you for joining us today. And I can't wait to see where your artistic journey leads you. To our friends out there, this has been Advancing Art, Marco Island Center for the Arts.
Thank you.
Thank you.